promise the fire next time. And who ain't there, the bad wounded, who ain't there, bad wounded, who ain't there, the bad wounded, who ain't there, bad wounded. Talk, you're mocking pretender. I check your lyrics and I confess you. Far too long, you're fooling the children, filling the head with very much education. Doomsday reach, wipe and you repeat, cause the children coming to take back the beat. The power of the word in the conscious styling. For a brand new morning, the power of the word in the rap so styling. Rocking the roots of the vampire system. Talk it all, you pop pretender. Talk it all, you bloody deceiver. Talk it all, you serpent master. Talk it all, you friggin' oppressor. La da di da da da, 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 la da di da da da. Don't put it hard, it matter where reality bites and illusion shatter. Right down to the heart of the matter. Desire go bust and reality scatter. He promised the fire next time. He promised the fire next time. He promised the fire next time. And who ain't there, the badly wounded, who ain't there, badly wounded, who ain't there, the badly wounded, who ain't there, badly wounded. Talk your talk, the mocking pretender. Check the lyrics and I confess you far too long. You're fooling the children, filling the head with much education. Doomsday reach, and you retreat. Children coming to take back the street. The power of the word, the conscious styling. I say the power of the word, the rap so styling. Rocking the roots and the vampire system. Talk your talk, you fucking pretender. Talk your talk, you bloody deceiver. Talk your talk, you serpent master. Talk your talk, you friggin' oppressor. What is the matter? I can't seem to stop this ceaseless chatter. Chatter, only wrong in my head. Oh Lord, like they want me to dead. Anybody talking, nobody listening. Oh my God, what's really happening? Chatter. What is the matter? Chatter, the ceaseless chatter. Going right down to the heart of the matter. Everybody talking, nobody listening. Oh my God, what's it yourself? Everybody talking, nobody listening. Nobody listening.
Yeah, today is Monday, 18 September. We have some issues to address. Clearly, we are a nation under siege. Today, action was taken that many believe was meant to distract from the fact that a Prime Minister was dragged before the Joint Select Committee. There's something going on in the Parliament right now that Trinidadians need to be aware of. And what's going on in the Parliament can have the effect of firing the Prime Minister. But stick a pin there for a second. What we need to address is this. You have a government badly wounded. Badly wounded. Keith Rowley may not see Prime Minister in December. Keith Rowley's government could fall. He is injured, badly injured and damaged. His very good friend, Nazim Bash, and ANV drilling in trouble, and that trouble is infecting the PNM like the cancer that eaten up Keith Rowley prostate and throat. But stick a pin there too. Stick a pin there too, because Maxi Coffee, who refused to communicate with the nation and come straight on life support in Sinclair Medical Center, and that life support is a good indication of this government. But Bridgeman's Limited, and I want to tell you something here. All of this that's spinning out of control. When you see the picture of the hurricanes in the Gulf, there are 4 hurricanes, a tropical storm, and a new depression starting. Trinidad is like that. All of this that's spinning and new things every single day. Reaching Ian Allen's studio today, I want to tell you all something. All of this is Bridgeman's Limited. Bridgeman's Trinidad Limited is a handful of PNM very close organizer financiers. When that Mark Bus, Keith Rowley could get charged. Right now, the Director of Public Prosecutions and the Commissioner of Police have to be having problems because I am sure they're confused. I am sure they do not know how to go forward here. The Director of Public Prosecutions and the Commissioner of Police have to be having a hard time Because your entire government could make a jail. The entire cabinet could make a jail. Keith Rowley came to government on one thing. One thing. Keith Rowley came to government on one thing. Moral authority. He was the Mark Busser in chief. Keith Rowley came to power.
I went to the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago in August 2003. As a Minister of Government in Trinidad and Tobago, a PNM Minister, and told him that there was bid rigging taking place in Udicott. What the Commission of Inquiry is looking at is 10 times worse than what happened in Piafo Airport. And it's even more brazen. The PNM is on trial. Because those of us,
forget the rest. That's the line I wanted. The PNM is on trial. Keith Rowley came to office with one thing: moral authority, righteous indignation. He and his silky draw sidekick, Faris Alwari, all they would do every single day is disturb the nation, disturb you with everything that was wrong with the UNC, COP, People's Partnership. No problem. No problem. Moral authority, righteous indignation. But not 2 years, not 2 years into government, and information started to come out about the people who holding the leash on the muzzle and the collar around Keith Rowley's neck. And I have that as a text from a little big-head Syrian boy telling me, don't worry now, man, we go rein him in. During the election time, stick up in there too. Stick up in there too. You see, Keith Rowley is a puppet. He really just come to play golf, you know, wind up on deals, I telling you. What you see went on with Ravina, that's Keith Rowley. When a prime minister reached to being prime minister and finding new children, you had to know. He's a hot cock son of a bitch. That's your prime minister. That's him. So he just here to play golf and wine. And all the people who climb up on his blackest back in Trinidad and Tobago, as he say, all of them come to thief. Thief. Madness. You see, Trinidadians will never ever be done justice until Faris Alrawi is charged for what Faris Alrawi did with One Alexandra Place when Manning was Prime Minister, because the cabinet was dissolved and they had no authority to sign the lease for One Alexandra Place that Faris, then attorney, then just member, coerced Manning to sign. And that lease, the owners of the property, the Nahus family, they didn't mind terminating the lease, you know. Chandra Sharma, UNC, come and say, well, if the priest could whine, who is me? If all you could do banditry, I could do banditry too. And One Alexandra Place will forever stand as a silver middle finger to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Believe it or not, stick up in there too. We are in a serious, serious situation. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I said in 2015, this is a minority government. The government and opposition votes combined just barely pips the 51%. And that sounds okay, majority rules. But that means that there are more people in this country who wanted nothing to do with neither than there are people who voted for either. And that's a problem. Simon Dinobrig and the rest of them that sit down every week or month or whenever Diego Martin Regional Corporation is called, they're sitting down on an improperly constituted council because it's 17% of the electorate give them that mandate. 17%. Understand what we're talking about. You could challenge any organization of state in any court in the world, not our courts. Come now, man, real courts. In any court, sorry about that, in any court in the world, and it will fall. We have a problem. Trinidad and Tobago, we have a problem. And I'll tell you what the problem is. I want to tell it to you succinctly. These parties understand politics. These parties do not understand governance. And there's the difference. Because it is impossible. Hear what I'm telling you? It is impossible. I want to say it again. It is impossible for a nation this blessed, this properly positioned in the world, this rich with resources. I mean, I want to keep asking, how much money are we charging for Lake Asphalt pitch? Somebody going to answer me, you know. How much money are we charging for lake asphalt pitch by the bucket, by the barrel, by the ton. Because Lake Asphalt Trinidad Limited pitch paving millions of miles of road worldwide. How much are we charging to that pitch lake alone, not minding all of us to Dubai money? Because Dubai don't have a pitch lake. Saudi Arabia don't have a pitch lake. Russia, the only person, I think Venezuela, have one that connected to ours. The rest of them in trouble. All of them come to us for pitch. We are the #1 supplier of pitch on planet Earth. That is not in the news. How much are we getting for our pitch? And who is getting that money? Because the pitch lake alone is supposed to prevent us from ever having a recession. Call me, Imbert. In your budget, come clean and account for the production numbers of Trinidad Lake Asphalt Pitch Lake and tell the people where that money goes. We need to know. And stick up in there again. Our reality facing us tonight, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, is we are under siege. We are under siege by a government that cannot do its job. It has relied on a mass of grandchildren of Africa that it fooled under Eric Williams, socialist extraordinaire. Eric Williams taught black people the world over how to take advantage of your brothers. That was Eric Williams' real legacy, you know. From Capitalism to Slavery was the book he wrote. But he had a book he never published. How to be a black man and enslave all the other black people. That's the real work of art of Eric Williams. And he's done that and delivered for generations the people, the grandchildren of Africa, into squalor in a country so rich that we've had 2 booms that economists estimate should have covered the recurring expenditure of Trinidad and Tobago for 1,000 years. We have no money. We have nothing to show for it but some rich vagabonds and mocking pretenders. We have nothing to show for it. We are a failed nation. If a nation set out to fail deliberately, that is us. That is us. This nation that has still as its reputation the best quality of cocoa in the world hardly grows cocoa. We prefer to pay people and call it CPEP and give them money for doing nothing. Why? Because that's not the real money in CPEP. Those little Africans collecting money as CPEP, that drawdown, that 10 days, that's the bullshit money. The real money is who own the CPEP gang. That's the millions that them little black hen chicken don't see. And they want to tell me about challenging the PNM. I want to tell you all something. The UNC bad. Don't make no mistake. The UNC bad. When they had people in Trinidad that realized what the PNM set up and what they was getting away with, jump up on Pandey back. Pandey, I mean, they have only so far Pandey could have go. Silver Fox was tired. By the time Gillette and Dupree come on board, he was weak. And then Vasant Bharat, straight out of university, thirsty. You watch them. You watch them. All of them in shiny suits. I mean, Pandey could have only hold out for so long. I don't like to give Pandey too much stick, but under him, the UNC became the PNM. But the PNM is the cancer that destroyed this nation. I want you, as a citizen, to say, fire truck Philip Alexander. I will never vote for him. Forget that. We agree. You don't vote for me, and I don't want your vote. Let's go forward now. We have nothing on this together. I want you to explain to me how a country that spent $3 trillion in 55 years, who spent $60 billion a year for the past 10 years, almost $1 trillion by itself. How could a country that had that kind of money, a postage stamp country, we don't qualify as a county or a ward in a developed nation anywhere? This country, one man's supposed to have the contract and mow the whole lawn. This country is literally spit in the ocean. We're tiny, we're a dot. We don't show up on the map. We don't show up on the map. They put an arrow to point, this is where Trinidad should be. How could a country that have only 1.3 million people have spent $3 trillion in 55 years and have a judiciary in collapse, a police service that it is barely functional, no arm of government. There is nothing you could think of. No licensing office, no TT post, no B-Mobile, nothing. There is nothing that you could think of that you could say that works. There is no office. There is no passport, no license, no birth paper. There is nothing. Everywhere has traffic. Every road is bad. All of our cities reek of piss, littered with the homeless and their feces. We have nothing to show for the money that we spend, except for some brazen sons of bitches that stay here to show off what they thief. And I tell you this, without hesitation or fear of contradiction, from prime ministers go back, we'll make a jail. If we get a chance to see the books, if you put the Progressive Empowerment Party in office, I promise you, we will audit everything from day dot come forward. And when we find you, we will arrest and charge and prosecute you. And we will write laws where laws don't exist. Because when we tell you undo and redo, this is a nation that was set up for the bandits to win. Set up for the bandits to win. It is why people of color never ask, how come when light-skinned people get murdered, they just find them murderers so fast? But stick a pin in that. The European Union paid money to this country for the Caroni farmers who John Rahal shut down to punish high-low, handjack and game. While Martin, what was Martin last time? The PNM organizer. While he was whining and dining kidnappers and murderers, Rahal's job was to shut down Caroni. UNC must never win an election again. That was the plan. That was the policy. And the European Union put money in this country to cover the farmers who were put into pure sufferation. And they never see it. And UNC came to office twice, knowing that money there. And the farmers still have never seen that money. This is a nation that has been raped, re-raped, raped again. And the only organization, arms outstretched, trying to grab the victim, not trying to rescue it, want to rape it again. You see them mother asses who want to decimate my name? They want to do that because Philip comes out here and tells you what is going on. Philip tells you the problems and the solutions, and he tells you, tell your party steal the idea. But they can't steal the idea because they put these ideas in place. All their finances can't thief money. A proper funded judiciary don't allow kickbacks from lawyers. For state briefs, it doesn't. A properly set up and functional judiciary, that cannot happen. But this is the Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic of do what the hell you like land. So today, we watch the whole police force inside the Ireland studio. I thought it was a day of total policing again. And a lot of men have said, we hope the prostate doctors don't ever get that idea and do a day of total prostate examinations. But that's what the police service did to Trinidad and Tobago. And the man who organized that staged a coup. That was an attempted coup by law enforcement, paid by state funds, and nobody's been brought to justice. But today, the riot squad in Ian Allen little 2x4 plywood studio send a freaking message, Rowley. Eh? I tell you that cancer eating you up like it reaching your brain. You send a message, Rowley. You send a message in a nation where there's a separation of powers. But the Parliament channel, you see in Rowley face, twist and bend up on the Parliament channel, but you can't hear his voice for some reason. Audio problems. Today, like we is ass. We is mad jackass big children, right? That is what all you think, all you're dealing with. And have the media chain up. Big Head say he bullying all the girls who just talk on the TV. So none of them care about talk PNM. So you have Faris with his silky draw self trying to write laws to turn off social media. And But that and God face, Faris will never see. And yes, we will shut it down. And we will fire you. I'll tell you why. There is something unbeknownst to those fly-by-night lawyers who had to sit their exams 5 and 6 times to pass. They have something unbeknownst to them. So call them on the phone and tell them Philip going to read a magical document here right now. It's called the Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And before it recognized president, prime minister, priest, or police, it recognized the people. So all of them who feel they have a little state position and a little state power and a little state authority that they could ramage on the people, it is time the tail stop wagging the dog. And I am telling Trinidad and Tobago, tonight, wake up, because we not taking Maduro-style governance from no fly-by-night minority government, especially a jackass bandit clan, a party led by a man so afraid of intelligent people, he only hire stupid people. So nothing can work. The Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, dated 1st August 1976, begins this way. And I'm not going to read for long, but I want you to hear this. I want you to carve this into your mind. And remember this, for any president, prime minister, priest, or police to tell you different. You are the people. Whereas the people of Trinidad and Tobago, you hear that line? Game done right there. Game done right there. Whereas the people of Trinidad and Tobago have affirmed that the nation of Trinidad and Tobago is founded upon principles that acknowledge the supremacy of God, faith in fundamental human rights and freedoms, the position of the family in a society of free men and free institutions, the dignity of the human person, and the equal and inalienable rights with which all members of the human family are endowed by their Creator. Faris, you hear that, brother? Or was that read on one of the days you was DDI? Tell me now. I'll read it again. Whereas the people of Trinidad and Tobago respect the principles of social justice and therefore believe that the operation of the economic system should result in the material resources of the community being so distributed as to subserve the common good, that there should be adequate means of livelihood for all, that labor should not be exploited or forced by economic necessity to operate in inhumane conditions, but that there should be opportunity for advancement on the basis of recognition of merit, ability, and integrity. Keep Christopher Mugabe Sagaroli. You hear that, friend? That is the Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago that pays your bloody salary. You hearing it? Whereas the people of Trinidad and Tobago have asserted their belief in a democratic society in which all persons may, to the extent of their capacity, play some part in the institutions of the national life and thus develop and maintain due respect for lawfully constituted authority. Commissioner Stephen Williams, did you hear that? Mr. Williams, in the Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago that pays your acting salary. Whereas the people of Trinidad and Tobago recognize that men and institutions remain free only when freedom is founded upon respect for moral and spiritual values and the rule of law. And I want to say this to Trinidad and Tobago. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, are witnessing the continuous erosion of the rule of law. They can't erode the Constitution, but they are eroding the laws that they wrote to protect themselves. And what is going on right now is an abdication of respect for law and order by the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And that is a flagrant attack against our democracy. Whereas the people of Trinidad and Tobago desire that their constitution should enshrine, Google the word enshrine, that desire that their constitution should enshrine the above-mentioned principles and beliefs and make provision for ensuring the protection in Trinidad and Tobago of fundamental human rights and freedoms. Understand that that is the supreme law of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And nobody, no papadoc, no cacadoc, none could change that. That is your law. It belongs to you. When they go inside that parliament and they try to gang up, this prevents them from doing it. The supreme law, written for you, by you. This is your law. Yours. This Constitution is the supreme law of Trinidad and Tobago, and any other law that is inconsistent with this Constitution is void to the extent of the inconsistency. It goes on to tell you who is the cabinet, who is the Commonwealth, what is a court, what is a financial head, what is a House of Representatives and a Senate, what is a judge and a judge of appeal, what is a judicial committee, what is a law, what is an oath, what is a parliament. This document recognizes all of those things, but first recognize the supreme authority of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And you need to commit that to absolute memory, so that nobody could tell you different. Chapter 1, after that speaks the Constitution into existence. Chapter 1, the recognition and protection of fundamental human rights and freedoms. You see, every single day somebody's telling me, Philip, you're afraid, boy. They go kill you, they go burn you down, they go victimize you, they go do all kind of thing. Every single day, day and night, I stepped out in this knowing the type of animals I deal with. I know. It is hereby recognized and declared that in Trinidad and Tobago they have existed and shall continue to exist without discrimination by reason of race, origin, color, religion, or sex. The following fundamental human rights and freedoms. I want to say that again. It is hereby recognized and declared that in Trinidad and Tobago they have existed and shall continue to exist without discrimination by reason of race, origin, color, religion, or sex. The following fundamental human rights and freedoms, namely, the right of the individual to life, liberty, security of the person, enjoyment of property, and the right not to be deprived thereof except by due process of law. So when the police showed up in Ian Alley today with a fake, a poorly written warrant, the entire thing collapsed. If this was the United States of America, a lot of people in trouble already. Laws do not work to serve any master other than the Constitution. The right of the individual to equality before the law and the protection of the law. The right of the individual to respect for his private and family life. Sorry, I just got an important message here. Let me say something to you. Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know what's going on. I have it sticking on my screen. Are you still getting the live feed? And I need to know. We are waiting for a contact call now. And I want to see what time that's happening with regards to an interview that we're supposed to be doing. We're still on for the interview?
Yeah, that's on his website. I'll take your phone now, right?
Right now, please. Thank you.
Right now, yeah.
Okay, bye. We're supposed to be getting the call for the interview now, so we're on standby for that. I am not seeing it move on my phone that I'm doing the interview on, so I'm not seeing your responses move. But I'm seeing comments on my computer screen, so I know that it is working. We're getting an interview with Ian now. He's supposed to be calling in now, so we're going to wait on that. Our reality. And also, for you who on Facebook, we also have a YouTube feed. And if Maya could share that on my wall somewhere, or any of the other members. We also have a YouTube feed in case we have a problem happening simultaneously. We have a simulcast on YouTube and on Facebook. So if you're having any trouble, you could go from one to the other. Yeah? And the reality is this, we're at a situation now where we need to address all of these issues, and we need to address them. I'm trying to give you the address for the YouTube feed, which is, I'm not seeing that, so I'm gonna have to wait. I think it's Pep Movement 1. I'm gonna check now. Sorry for the delay, I'm waiting on the call. And we will be, right, my channel. I'm going to share this on my wall, and I'm going to share this in the Facebook Live. So anybody having any difficulty with the Facebook feed, because apparently they don't have problems with the YouTube feed. Yeah? So I'll give you the YouTube feed. On my wall, and on the live feed. Yeah, right. Back on point. Where is it possible? How do you defend the conditions of everything in this country, in a nation so wealthy? How do you explain it? How do you explain it to yourself? How do you explain it to your children? Somebody told me today that all we've had is a fool's choice, two senseless options. How do we reconcile those issues? And I'm being told that he is on his way to a UNC meeting, but he's supposed to call us first. So we are going to wait, because I really want to hear what was the outcome, and I'm sure you want to hear as well. What was the reason behind this? But I want to tell Trinidad and Tobago this. All the geometry and all of the jackassery and all of them breaking down Ian Allen down, all of that nonsense. Don't let that distract you from fake oil, man. What Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj did with that pre-action protocol letter to Kamala is what Michael Kwame do to me on behalf of Andrew Gabriel and the ambulance company, Global Medical Response. It is to use the courts to silence you from exposing people. But these people have to get exposed. They have to get exposed. And we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, have to now say enough. Enough with all these games. Enough with the games. If you didn't share the video before, especially those of you on YouTube, please share it. Let everyone know that we're here and we're live. You can feel free to text them. Text your friends and family. Yeah? I don't like being paused and waiting, and I apologize to you for that. And while we're putting that connection together, we're going to, I guess we could listen to a little music until he come on board. We're supposed to have that any minute now. So, yeah. What is an apt song for what we are facing now in this country? What would you say is a more apt song than this? I'm just waiting to get. Please use this opportunity to share the video, call out your friends.
Vote for we and we will set you free. Anywhere you turn, somebody chanting the we. Somebody promising jobs for all. Some renting funds to make other people fall. But somebody promising more police cars. Somebody going to take the country far. Somebody putting all the bandits away. We say if they do the crime, they're going to damn well pay. But somebody promising a human rights, while somebody threatening to put out their lights. The more tree full with little Trinidad boys, a bullet start to whine and put an end to the joy. Now they lying cold for their mama to mourn. The Nike gone, the gold keep gone. You see they want their pocket full with blue silk. They want the statue drinking full cream milk. The little red silk is not their true friend. The blue one have two extra north on the end. So I tag on the tourists, now they take it to hell. But look where we reach, well, I hear a madman call. As he spread out on a wall, he said, this is it, I've been hit. No time to give a brother, no time to...
Hello, good evening.
Right now, but he will routinely call a little later, right?
Where you say he is?
He is in South at UNC Rally.
And he's speaking on the UNC rally now?
Yeah.
And how soon you think we should be able to hear from him?
I told him as soon as he can.
You have any idea of minutes?
I can't give you a definite amount of time.
All right, well, we're on standby.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot. Just so you know, that was Ian Allen's chief engineer. So they're going to be calling us back.
Somebody promising to run all the bread. Somebody pushing a world-class head. Somebody clean out the weed well fast.
But somebody letting the cocaine pass.
Somebody promised to abolish the tax.
Listen, there is a document for the construction of the maritime security wall that will end this country being a narco state. It's sitting in Edmund Dillon's office. It's in his office. Edmund Dillon could today decide if he wanted to establish the maritime security wall and end the cocaine trafficking in Trinidad and Tobago. The maritime security wall will end the gun smuggling, funneling, fueling the gangs. It will end it. The maritime security wall will end human trafficking. What a maritime security wall is: 6 to 8 repurposed oil barges, renovated to hold housing and operations facilities that would provide space for immigration, Coast Guard, police, army, helicopter landing pad, fast interceptor boats. I mean, connected by a 360-degree radar 3 miles out from Trinidad and Tobago. The rule is this: if you cross the line, stop to be searched. If you are entering New York City, anywhere from water, there is a line. There is a line, there is a virtual line. That is where the maritime security wall idea came from. There is a virtual line. If you are motoring up to New York City in a boat and you come from open water and they tell you stop and you do not stop, the next thing you hear is your demise, you know. They don't do warning shots, you know. They say stop. You do not acknowledge that stop. They blow you out of the water. And that's our law. That should be our law. A progressive empowerment party would make that a law. That we will unstuff all containers. The same prime minister whose government acknowledged that 57 women were kidnapped, strapped, tied down, bundled, shipped out of this country and sold into sex, work, or organ donation slavery. The same government, their Prime Minister, Keith Rowley, told this nation that there are 30,000 illegal guns in Trinidad. He didn't say what he was doing to stop the inflow of illegal guns. He didn't say what he was doing to mop up the illegal guns that are here. He then told you that 40% of the containers that come to this country pass through the ports unchecked. 40%. In a country globally acknowledged to be a narcotics transshipment point. And Keith Rowley, your Prime Minister, who could tomorrow, by the stroke of a pen, establish the maritime security wall, could pick up the phone now, call the United States ambassador, call the Canadian High Commissioner, tell both of them, we want our borders shut down, and in 24 hours, it's shut down. Because the Americans and the Canadians want our borders shut down. They want the cocaine to stop passing through Trinidad. So the question has to be asked. If you know that there are 30,000 illegal guns smuggled into the country, if you know 57 of our women have been stolen and sold into slavery, and you've done nothing to do anything about it, wouldn't you say that the government is part of the problem? They're either incompetent or complicit, and either reason is a reason to fire them. Keith Rowley is not a stupid man. He has won significant elections in his life to have the parliament pay to raise his children. 31 years. 31 years the parliament buying lollipop and juice for Rowley daughters. And maybe some for the sons he did not acknowledge till he win. Is the parliament do that? You know the parliament money comes from the people. You raise Rowley daughters. You put food on Rowley dinner table every freaking night. He's not a stupid man. He obviously knows how to get you to pay his bills. You pay his phone bill, you pay his light bill, you pay his gas bill. So obviously he knows how to get that done. Not a stupid man. So why can't that same man, with the power of the parliament, and the power of the treasury, and the power of the cabinet, of government, why wouldn't he, 2 years in, he's done everything else. He pressure washed a failed stadium. They say, well, boy, we don't spend the money, let me open it. And you know, the ease with which sycophantic jackasses parrot shit was pissed me off. Because there's a better saying, you don't throw good money after bad. If you buy a car for $800 and it's not working, and they tell you to throw an next $800 behind it, it might work. The common sense approach is to say, you know what, that first 800 loss, I'd rather lose the next one. But Rumpa boy, Daryl, and Daryl, I see your wife drop the Smith, brother. I heard that she had left your ass and that she filed for divorce. Today I realize she dropped the Smith. Well done. Well done. Jettison that humiliating, embarrassing, brainless jackass. Rumpa boy Daryl Smith convinced the country that his partner Brian Lara deserve a nice fancy box up inside a day, courtesy the taxpayers, to line with the partners and play with all the girls. So we spend the next 200 million. Where's 200 million when the PNM don't squander $1 billion? 20,000 house, forget that. More of a bit of Lavatel and Silots don't care as long as PNM people live in good end. As long as the hierarchy, driving nice car and living in nice house and eating good steak, and your children can eat mud. And that's the rule. PNM sycophants. But this nation has to face up to the responsibility now. That it has a government that knows. Let me tell you how I know. I read the Chinese bid. And I have a man by the name of Jimmy Fifi who used to operate down in Chagaramas. He put in a bid as well because I read his bid too. So I know they have at least 2 bids to build the maritime security wall. So 2 years in, Keith Rowley, with all of the noise he used to make, and Faris Al Silky Draws Rawi need to explain to the nation what they're doing. A known narcotic state. Hello, good evening. Aha.
Stone, how are you going?
I'm pretty good. You're live, eh? You're not alive.
Oh, you're okay. Listen, I thought I would spend in some time here before Ian called you about that event. As you know, I was up there and I witnessed most of what occurred.
What happened? Well, give us an update.
Well, you, stand by. Well, I hope you're sitting down for you and your viewers. But what I saw what I saw is like extremely disturbing. Now, I want to make a point very, very careful. Some of the officers that were there, and there were many, there were over 2 dozen. There were about 3 or 4 of them with submachine guns. Could you imagine that into Ian Allen's office?
Well,
So the riot squad showed up.
I wonder what that costs. I wonder what that costs. I had asked Trinidad and Tobago, in a country that works, when they sent 10 jeep loads to arrest Anna and Ram Logan, okay, it was a political stunt. They felt like stunting. I get that. But those 10 jeep loads and those and all of the officers inside it, that's man hours, that's vehicle hours. There's a cost to the stunt. And the stunt don't come out Stephen Williams' pocket. It's come out the taxpayer's pocket. I wonder what that stunt cost.
More seriously than that, I think we as Trinidadian citizens need to take a backseat and look peripherally and see that there is a pattern. This is not a one-off thing. As you said, what happened with Ram Logan, what has happened, this is not the first time with Ian Allen. And I'll tell you something, there were some officers there. I spoke to a few of them. I said, you guys can't be happy about this, right? Or you can't be happy about it. And a few of them was basically telling you, look, partner, I taking orders, I had to take orders, this is my job. And no, you could see on some of their faces, they were not happy about it. They came with a warrant. First of all, it was the wrong warrant.
What you mean the wrong warrant?
You have to go and get the right warrant.
But then the whole thing should have collapsed right there.
No, it got worse than that. His lawyer showed up, Senator Ramdeen, and they refused. You know, it is a constitutional right for any citizen in a situation like that to have representation.
Absolutely.
Ian Allen was not, the warrant was not for Ian Allen. Ian Allen was not under arrest. The warrant was to get some information from Ian Allen's computer. That's what they were after, a file. Right? And what I found out from Ian was that this file they're looking for concerns some, you see, I was away. It was some you might recall this, there was some person that got murdered on a flyover.
Yes.
Right? Well, something to do with that the person, there was somebody that Ian interviewed that apparently alleged said that he was the killer or he knew the killer or something to that effect. So Ian Allen wasn't under any arrest or breaking any law. They came for information and they wouldn't allow his lawyer in. Until after argument, they finally allowed his lawyer in. But what is happening here, we have to be extremely careful that this is a political motivated act.
Hold on.
Which we feel it is.
Hold on 1 second. For those of you who are listening, this is Brian Stone on the phone, well-known political activist. He does a show now on 104.7, and I think he writes a column in the Sunshine newspaper. Brian was at Brian was one of the first people to give me a heads up. Brian was up at Ian Allen's studio, and while we're waiting on Ian Allen to give us his view, Brian is telling us as a witness what he saw. Carry on, Brian.
Now, what is very dangerous here, if this is allowed to continue, that means, and you know, Ian, we talked about this on many occasions in other media, that the government, under Rowley's leadership, it appears, is driving the free press down. There's a degree of oppression here to scare activists and people who speak out against the government.
It having the opposite effect. It having the opposite effect because tomorrow at noon, I'm going to be outside Rowley office again, calling that jackass out to fire himself. He is the worst piece of shit of a prime minister we've ever had. And as a citizen of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, I want him fired.
And in fairness to you and other activists and those who speak up, who, as you know, we are paying a price. You're being sued. I was threatened to be sued by the Prime Minister himself. Even Kamala was threatened to be sued. She have until midnight. And I believe she's going to be speaking about it on the AV drilling corruption. Do you know she got a letter, a protocol letter?
I read that.
Right? So what is happening? All these lawsuits and all that is to shut
I know that.
shut the media down, and they attack that media.
Brian, I want to ask a question. The lawyer that's suing me, Michael, that handling the matter for Andrew Gabriel and for Global Medical Response, he himself has PNM appointed state board positions. He himself gets state funds for sitting on those boards. Now I am asking you, if I am standing up for against issues that are important to the state, and a lawyer is representing private interests suing me being paid by the state, don't you think that that should be considered a contradiction, should even be illegal? There should be a law against that?
In any properly run country, that in and of itself would be a crime. We are under a serious threat, and I am trying in vain by writing, by activists, doing my citizen duty. We as a people must recognize, sit back and look at this and start taking action.
But it's a minority government and he has no support. Keep Rowley government falling apart. Listen, the Progressive Empowerment Party, we have 5 foreign chapters already. And I'm going to call on them, and I hope Ali G is watching. Ali G is the coordinator of the foreign chapters of the PEP. And I want them to start approaching the United Nations, the leadership of the Commonwealth, the United States State Department, all foreign media, the Jimmy Carter Institute, and Amnesty International. I want all of those organizations to be made aware of the very undemocratic leanings of this Keith Christopher Mugabe Sabga Rowley government. I want them to pay attention to what is going on in this country by this minority government.
And you know, we as a people, we tend to be too happy. If you recall the 1990 coup, prior to the coup, the then Prime Minister and the people in power, the government in power, was warned by national security, and most of them laughed it off, saying, this Trinidad, that don't happen. And the coup occurred. Guns were in place, people got killed, there were explosions. The people, my problem I'm having with a lot of, even some of my colleagues, is that they feel, nah, this can't be a police state, this Trinidad, this can't be a Venezuela. And I caution, this government, this PNM have for power and money is a demonstration of them stopping at nothing to hold on to their power.
Brian,
we are in a state, let me tell you
for
something.
the people who now signed on, this is Brian Stone, activist, radio host, columnist. Brian, I want you, sorry, and I know you're trying to make a point, but I want you to go back to what you witnessed up at Ian Allen's studio today, and I want you to give it to us in a nutshell, because people need to know what exactly took place there today, because I think that it seemed to border on very questionable policing.
Well, that was one of the first questions I heard Ian's lawyer, who was outside and able to get in at first, which they were wrong in doing that, questioning what are they doing there, and why all these police presence. And this is a business. He's running a show. Remember, Ian Allen comes on, and it is during his show, and they just barged in with the warrant, and it was the wrong warrant, I understand. They bring the wrong warrant.
Yeah, but you see, you may have laughed at that, but I want to tell you something. That in itself, I want to tell you, and I hope Allen's lawyers are paying attention to this. But that act by itself meant that they did not have the legal right to do what they were doing. You understand what I just said?
Well, I don't want
in the United States, but I want to tell you this. You need to understand this.
I heard Philip, that is...
Oh gosh, we lost the call, and I hope he calls back. But I want you to understand something. In the United States of America, there's something called the Miranda of Rights. And they have to read to you. This is a law, and it is an amendment to the Constitution. And they have to read to you that you have the right to remain silent. You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford one, one will be provided to you by the state. And all of those rights. And you have to, they have to get you to say that you heard that they read that rights. Because if they do, if you don't hear those rights, that matter will be thrown out of court. That is your legal right. If the police showed up in Ian Allen's studio and were present in the studio with a fake or wrong warrant, the police in trouble. They broke the law. And there's no reasonable expectation of police authority. That's bullshit. They want to make you think that that is so, but it is not so. There is no reasonable expectation of police authority. And a judge told them that. And he quantified per hour of wrongful arrest $21,000. And that was 10 years ago. I'm sure that has increased. What I would like to say is, to the police officers who just following instructions, make sure the people who giving you instructions, giving you legal instructions. Make sure they're giving you legal instructions, because if the police went into Ian Allen's studio with a fake or wrong warrant, they broke the law. They were not acting under the Constitution with the constitutional remit of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. They were breaking the law. And that's a serious thing. And I hope that his lawyers take them to task. Because all of the time, the entire thing collapsed then. All of the time that they were present, the senior officer should be charged. The senior officer who was present there broke the law. As far as the law is concerned, they were breaking and entering. They had no legal right to be in his premises. They were trespassing and they were breaking and entering. And I hope that the senior officer pays the price for that. You cannot throw your weight around. That weight that you think you have, sir, belongs to the people. When they retire or fire your ass, you have no power. It belongs to the people. Like the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister's power belongs to the people. The people could fire both of you. It's just the people don't know. They have power. Black people so stupid in this country that they don't know their power. If they knew, things would be different. Because you wouldn't get away with that level of bullshit. But that's a conversation for another day. Our reality is this. Trinidadians need to wake up, wise up, stand up and speak up. And say, end the bullshit now. Somebody told me last night they treat Trinidadians like mushrooms. They keep them in the dark and feed them bullshit. That's a fact. The Guardian, the Express and the Newsday, forget that. Bullshit. Pure bullshit. I'm telling you that. There's nothing coming out any of the organized media right now that is of any value to you. Copy and paste, bullshit. In any other nation, whoever was responsible for beating up that journalist or pelting missiles at the TV6 journalists who went to get their 15 minutes of fame, that or those persons would be in jail tonight. And Mr. Nazim Bash would also have been charged already by the fraud squad, regardless of what Ramesh Lawrence Maraj thinks. That the allegation came out of an audit. The opposition leader read the information from an audit, a Petrotrin audit. The audit said you were paid $80 million for oil that you did not provide. Where's the pre-action protocol that in that? All of this stunting, you're stunting Ian Allen place today is to distract us with foolishness. Keith Rowley government is going to collapse on the bullshit of fake oil and a fake ferry. And that jackass, Keith Rowley, will be the biggest jackass we've ever had as a prime minister in this country's history. He and Baghdad Papadok Faris, who grew up in a nation where the people didn't have rights, but brother, in this one we do. We have rights here. Go back Baghdad if you don't like it. Johnny, Sukaran, Peter Pan. When I tell you, I hate advantage. I hate injustice. It's boiling my blood. I don't like it. I really don't like it. You all know me. I don't carry bag for nobody. I don't carry brief for nobody. The PEP join in with nobody. We sailing down the road, doing our work, building a correct political party, giving you proper information. Somebody tell me today, when I use the word jackass and bullshit, I don't sound prime ministerial. Now I want you to put that in the context of every other prime minister we've ever had. Every other prime minister we've ever had. Put the fact that I said jackass and bullshit in context with the fact that Keith Rowley showed up as prime minister and told you that he lied. That he lied to the nation, that he lied under oath, that he lied when he swore, that as far as he knew all of the above in his parliamentary bio and everything else that he ever signed that said he had 2, not 4 children. But he knew he had 4 children. And imagine how tough it must be to be one of Rowley's 2 sons. Because he only claimed, was Chanel and Simpson, whoever the name is. He only claimed them. He didn't claim the 2 boys from the outside, baby mamas. And you could imagine what it must have been like to be told by your father, I can't claim you, and you can't claim me. I am a paragon of virtue from Mason Hall trying to get to Whitehall. So you have to lie and say you're fatherless. You're a bastard. Because I have ambition and an agenda. And the mother-ass copy and paste media. You see, if that was Donald Trump, if that was Barack Obama, they'd have leave the office in disgust already. Because Barack Obama would have been standing up there with Putin, talking about they just disarmed the whole world. And the media say, yeah, forget that. Tell us about your 2 children that you didn't know about when you was campaigning. Tell us, Titos, where them 2 grown men come from. You stink and dirty. And yes, we Prime Minister. In the Royal Imperial Majestic Banana Republic of do what the ass you like land, you can get away with it. Because the media owned by Massey and Sabga. And Massey and Sabga are custom making the vast majority of their money through government patronage, soft laws, ease, access. When Mario Sabga Aboud said, we are the 1% and we're powerful, and I asked him, what was your power, brother? Money? Property? Olive oil? Your power was access to government. Hello, good evening.
Yes, Philip, Toronto. One of the things that you would notice is that there are intentional spelling errors, intentional, when they go to their warrant to arrest somebody, or when they present something in Parliament, there's always spelling error, which could always say, well, like for instance, how they spell Mukesh name wrong.
Yeah, but you see, I want to tell you thanks for that. Thanks for bringing that up. But I want to tell you that have no stand and that have no value. And I had to continue what I said, but I appreciate that because I'm waiting on Alan to call. But thanks for that. But that have no standing. Because if you misspell something, it is no longer correct. It is no longer correct. And I know that for a fact. But forget that for now. Our reality, our truth, is that what is going on right now in government is unacceptable. The country is being mismanaged to the point where the average person, I spoke to a fella today, he owns a chain of stores. Wealthy guy. And he tell me, say, Philip, I write it down. He said, I used to have a good life in Trinidad. There is no time that I feel safe. He said, I don't feel safe home and I have security in my yard. He said, there's no time I feel safe for me and my family. We could be sitting on the dining room table together, all of us watching each other. I know where everybody is and I still don't feel like we're safe. How could you live in a country where you're never safe and he rich? You could imagine people who live in Mova, Bitam, Lavantel and Silots who had to walk down 15 minutes a hill and steps to get to a main road to take a taxi. All along the way. Treacherous. Treacherous. Sometimes you're living in green area and you have to cross into red area or brown area. And as you step over his bullets, because the 2 areas at war, A nation that has left 300,000 people according to the 2014 poverty survey. Now, you will ask, where's the 2017 poverty survey? That will be read and available in 2020. We're always 3 years behind. You will get the Auditor General report on what is being stolen now, 3 years from now. When you're dealing with theft then, you say, yeah, well, that passed, forget that. Forget that. We can't continue to do that. We can't continue to live so. We cannot continue to accept that level of governmental malfeasance and mismanagement. Corruption has reduced this country to a failed nation. You don't have to like me to understand that what I'm telling you is an absolute fact. That if you do not bring those big fish to justice, you will never be able to fix what's going on the ground. Never. They will never take you seriously. They will never believe you. They will continue to believe that government is corrupt and that injustice can't be done. And that's how they live. And that's why they're so easily willing to get into crime. Because they believe injustice will never be done. And that's the life that they know. I don't know what to say. If you all want us to run, to continue running, I'll continue running, waiting on Ian. But I want to tell you, a little bit exhausted. I guess you could see it. These are long days, long weeks, long months. These are long days. And I want to find out if we're still getting... Hello? Yes, this is Philip Alexander.
Yeah, Mr. Allen, they're still in the USC rally. Can you give me a call after sure you don't want to hold up the show waiting for him?
Well, I mean, we've had people here waiting to hear from him. You can't reach him at all to give us just a brief.
Where he is right now, there's a lot of noise, and you won't be able to hear what he's saying on the phone.
Right. Okay, well, I will. So you have no idea how long it might be again?
I don't want to estimate a time, but I don't think you should wait on it. Go ahead and continue the show, and he'll give you a call after.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thanks so much, man.
Okay, look, when he does call, I'll go live again. I mean, if you all want to wait it out now, we could wait it now. It's entirely up to you. Because I know their rally should be finishing anytime now. If we don't wait it out now, when he does call, I don't mind going live again as a special issue. I showed you all. Good night, this is Ian's IT engineer. Ian said he will call you later tonight. Do not put your live show on hold for the call. He is currently speaking on the platform at that rally and will not be able to call within the hour. He is very thankful for the opportunity to speak on your show and will contact you as soon as he can. Regards, Ian I. Now, I have no problem doing a second show when he calls, and I apologize. They are the ones who reached out and asked if they could be on the show tonight. I said, sure, because I know that you want to hear what's going on. So, what I could guarantee you is I will not break down the setup. When they do call, I will go live again. that should not be as long a show as this. But coming back to the issue we were discussing, and we will wrap up here on that. The truth of the matter is our reality cannot continue like this. We will end up in a crisis. We are bearing down on a police state, failed nation, an entire people living in fear, a middle class all but dead, the lowest class collapsing, poverty, squalor, desperation, violence, murder. This week here I had to post from the papers, a guy stopped by a traffic light, normal, brightly lit area, a fellow put a gun to his head, get in the car, take them St. Joseph, rape the woman in front of him, rob him and went his way. That cannot be allowed to continue. This is a failed nation in every sense of the word. Nobody watching me right now, listening to this show right now, could guarantee they'll be here tomorrow. What madness is that? And I'm not talking about natural causes. You could get in an accident and disagree with the wrong man and he'll pull out a gun and kill you. This country has gone to the point where you cannot rely on the people who brought it to this condition to fix it. There is nothing that Keith Rowley or Kamala Persad-Bissessar has to offer you now that they couldn't have already done if they wanted to. If the PNM ever had an interest in making life better for the poor of this country, the poor would have known. It is trillions of dollars we've spent. The money that bailed out Clico, just Clico, just that 25 billion, forget all the rest. That money could have built 200,000 houses, 200 schools, 41 hospitals, and still have change. We're talking about $25,000 million. Understand, $25,000 million was taken out of the treasury and used to cover some high-class banditry that raided and emptied Clico. And they said it was too big to fail, it will damage the economy, so rob the economy twice. But that money, just Clico, would have made it possible for every single citizen of this country to own a home. That money would have purpose-built 200 brand new schools. That money would have built 41 hospitals, one for each constituency. What is going on now with the PNM and the UNC, that cannot be allowed to continue under no stretch of the imagination. You're telling me how tired I'm looking. People telling me I'm looking tired. Yeah. Somebody tell me I'm looking fat. Hey, it's 2 cameras. The cameras are 10 pounds. When you're voting, let me tell Trinidad and Tobago, clear as a bell. So you know, don't vote for us. Vote for any party you like, but vote for a party that agrees with this. There are 5 critical issues that have to be addressed. These 5 critical issues will right-size this country and bring everybody up to the same level. Security of the person, proper national security, proper and equal justice. home ownership for all, education that works, healthcare that delivers, and affordable food. See those 5 things? Each of those things could be done. And we've outlined for you ways and means by which it could be done. When people ask you where the money coming from to do it, A, saving money in the budget. B, shutting down all those special purpose companies and fake state boards that are just there to steal money. The abolition of the SEA exam, the shutting down of the RHA, the THA, the current police precinct model, the local government system, shut all of that down. All of that is a waste. All of that designed to thief money. Get rid of all of that. And just there, when you lose the special purpose companies and all that nonsense, right there, you could fund what I just told you. But that's not enough. I'm telling you, 30% of the budget that Colin is going to read, 30% is pork, 30% is fat, 30% is theft. Built in. Built in. And every time Colin jump on that big boat, he have to go DDI. He know. He know. And these people don't care. We living in a nation, if you could picture it as always Christmas morning. If ever there was a country that was so perfect, it's every day is Christmas morning, Trinidad. But it just so happens in this version of Christmas, Santa Claus is a rapist. And when he come down your tree, when he come down your chimney, he gonna rape you. And thief what you have. Funny, eh? That's what we have. PNM and UNC. PNM and UNC. Ask them to account for their stewardship. Ask them to account for what they did. By agreeing, the two of them, by having members of the CLICO board serve in the cabinet of both of those parties, it tells you there are people whose names have been called in drug reports, have been senior members of both of those parties. It will tell you why we don't have a maritime security wall. This is a nation where the banks pay no interest on depositor funds, lends only to who they want. This is a nation where the banks charges you fees to hold your money, not pays you interest for the pleasure. This is a nation where the banks enjoy imposing a 13% off the books tax by the foreign currency spread. Nowhere else in the world will a bank buy US at $6 and sell it for $6.77. That is a 13% tax on our economy that nobody talking about. That is a 13% increase in the price just to buy and sell US. And nobody else talking about that. The US supposed to sell for $6.74 and to buy for $6.74 and sell for $6.77. Or buy for $6 and sell for $6.04. The spread can't be more than 2%. How the hell you reach 13? So you're charging a 13% tax on the economy. You're not giving people interest on their money. You're raping them with interest on loans if they get any kind of credit from you. And you're charging them fees just to walk in the bank. How is any of that right? How? And if you weren't in a country so riddled with crime that you prefer to get your money paid through the bank, because you see, if you get a check, you have to go to a bank to cash it. So you walk in the bank to cash, they charge you $15 to cash the check. So if you get a check for $30, the bank keep half. You have money in your account and you go away for 6 months, you come back, the money gone, the bank uses it up in fees. It is madness. It shouldn't be allowed. It ought not to be allowed. You need a government in power who understands how the country should run. Those two parties understand politics. Neither of them understand governance. Because we've never had governance for all the money we spend. But I want to tell you before I go, all of this is easy to fix. Step 1, fire all of them. Fire all 41 in the parliament. Don't bring none back. Fire all. That's step 1. Step 2, make sure that you fire completely the PNM and the UNC. They must go away for good. Step 3, stand up with who you elect. Do not get complacent. Do not get lazy. Do not vote people into power and then go down the road and watch cricket and drink beers. Stand up and watch that they deliver what they say they're going to deliver. We tell you the first items on our legislative agenda, the first one is recall. If in the first day that we sit in the parliament, we pass recall into law, you could exhale. Because recall allows you to fire us. Recall allows you to fire a member of parliament. In Trinidad, believe it or not, you can hire a government, but you can't fire it. How insane is that? It is supposed to be built into the hiring contract. How I terminate you. We don't have that. We have no accountability. We have no responsibility from the people that we put into office. They don't have to answer you ever again. Your prime minister could chups at the media, and the media will take that. Because the media don't really report to you. This is the country that you choose to accept. But it doesn't have to be like this. We could be a first world functional nation in a heartbeat. We could be food independent. All of our schools could be prestige schools, zoned for the community to end the traffic nightmare of dropping children all over the country. 10-year schools so they grow up for 5 to 15 with their peers in a community where everybody lives in, so that knit tight. A nation is a collection of communities. If you make sure that people can own their own home and the children can go to school in the community, in 5 quick years, the nation starts to heal itself. Everybody living on love and sharing. A nation is a collection of communities. If your government is not acting locally, forget them. They're not your government. They're not your government. They're in office, but they're not there for you. They're not there for you. Healthcare. 41 24/7 healthcare centers in every constituency in Trinidad. You know what I do? You know what that would do? That would put emergency service 15 minutes away from anybody. Accident, gunshot, stroke, heart attack, 15 minutes. Magic window of time. Save lives. Each of them with a dedicated ambulance. Cancel this crazy ambulance contract. Put an ambulance in every fire station in the country and one in the healthcare center. So you now know for sure you have 102 ambulances equally spread throughout the country with trained paramedics on board. So from the time they arrive, they begin to apply whatever you need applied. So no more excuses. Well, boy, that 3 hospital and all 3 hospitals have all the gurneys, so the ambulance type. Bullshit. If you was living in a nation with a proper government, you'd get real justice on time. They would have built courthouses adjacent to the prisons. So you move the magistrate to the jail, not the entire jail to the magistrate. That's bringing the mountain to Mohammed. Why not take Mohammed to the mountain? It would be cheaper, cause less traffic, less aggravation, and really deliver justice on time. There is a real reason why this country is as bad as it is, and it is not accidental. It is deliberate and broken by design. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, have to be willing enough to face that, if not for ourselves, for our loved ones. Because if your family hungry and they're living in fear and they have a very dim future, you vote for that. And if you continue to vote for that, you have nobody to blame but yourself.
Register and put them on. Totally stick the finger and put them on. Rescue the country. Put them up with tempo. They have the faith. Let's put our country together again. Put them out with calypso and joyous refrain. Let's put our country together again.
Those of you who would like to attend a Progressive Empowerment Party meeting, we have a meeting this Saturday at 6 o'clock in Mamaral in the constituency of Tabakit. If you want, you can attend. We're at 6 o'clock in Mamaral. Come out in your numbers. Come and be a part of the change. Come and be a part of the growing Orange Revolution. Come and add your voice to the Orange Army. Come and take control and ownership of your party. Come and see real democracy. January 17, 2018. All offices become available. Come and put your name up for political leader, party treasurer, chairman. We start over. We say we will reboot the republic, undo and redo, but we will do it properly. And we will make sure that the representation that you deserve, we will deliver. Tonight an activist wrote me. She has a powerful voice and she's scared. Her father unemployed. She can't afford to lose her job. She tell me she had to go dark. She said, Philip, you have my support, but I had to go dark. I said, I need your voice. But I understand, because she have a family to mind too. And this is the reality of political victimization. But I want to keep Christopher Mugabe Sabgarowli to know, if I have to stand alone, brother, I stand in. I am standing. I will not stop until we fire you. To shelter and clothes, a garden that grows, and one law for each.
If it is that injustice is what they always show.
The PP has a policy called no job left behind. Nobody will be terminated. Nobody will be fired. We will make sure if we make your job redundant, we will put you in another job. It is important to us that our entire nation is gainfully employed. We want everybody from minimum wage earners to come up to be homeowners. So we guarantee you that all bandits must go.
Register and if they don't see, stain your finger and show them no mercy. Put them out in total scorn and utter disdain. Let's put our gun.
The man who sings this song is a fellow by the name of Tyrone Hernandez. On the thing, his name is Deplay. I will put it in the feed, in the conversation thread that you asked who sings the song, so you could see it right there. Click the link. It's live now. Our reality is this. peptrinbago@gmail.com is our email address. peptt.com is our website. PEP app, P-E-P-A-P-P, downloadable for free from any app site. We want to increase our level of communication with you. Our office, 19 Stanmore Avenue, open every day from 12 to 3. We have a meeting Saturday to sign up new members. We are looking for a new office. We've outgrown the office we're in. Every Saturday it's getting tougher and tougher as the crowds are getting bigger and bigger. If you have a facility anywhere in that area, close around there, Woodbrook, St. Clair, Newtown, that area, because people are accustomed to finding their way there, we would love to get it. We plan to open 5 satellite offices like HQ. That is our HQ. We want to open North, East, Central, South, and Tobago, so that anywhere you live that you will have access to where the teams are and build out the constituencies, 8 of them around each of those hubs. We have big plans and we want you to come and be a part of everything that we're doing. Step 1 has to be make sure that if you download the PEP app, every time we live, you get a notification. peptt.com, it helps you join the party. And for those of you who have very deep pockets and would like to help us with this, it is very costly what we do here, and we have no deep pocket finances. So I will see you again later. If we get a call, I will go live. If not, I'll see you all tomorrow. Stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.